The hamlet of Raven's Hollow was a place forgotten by time. The rest of the world passed it by long ago. Nestled deep within a valley, it was shrouded in an unnatural, perpetual gloom. A dense canopy of ancient trees choked the sky. They twisted and turned, their branches gnarled like skeletal fingers reaching out to grasp at the unwary. The very air hung heavy with the scent of decay and the promise of things unseen. Ravens, their ebony feathers like shards of darkness, perched atop crumbling tombstones in the crooked graveyard. They watched with knowing eyes, their silence more unsettling than any screech. The houses, most abandoned and left to rot, stood like crooked teeth in a decaying moor. Each one held its own secrets, its own whispers of forgotten tragedies. But none were as feared, as whispered about, as the Hollow House. It stood at the edge of the village upon a hill overlooking the rest. The house was a monolith of dread, a testament to the darkness that lay at the heart of Raven's Hollow. Its silhouette loomed against the stormy sky, a jagged skeletal thing against the bruised canvas of the heavens. Even the bravest souls avoided the path leading up to the house. Those who dared to glance its way quickly averted their eyes. They muttered prayers under their breath and hurried on. The Hollow House was not a place for the living. It was a place of shadows and echoes, where the past refused to die and the darkness held sway. The Wraithmores were once the masters of the Hollow House. They were a reclusive family, shrouded in mystery and whispered rumours. Their lineage stretched back generations, their roots sinking deep into the cursed soil of Raven's Hollow. The villagers spoke of them in hushed tones, their names spoken only when absolutely necessary. Eldritch lore was said to be practiced within the mansion walls. Unholy rituals were conducted under the pale light of the moon. The Wraithmores sought forbidden knowledge, their ambition as boundless as their depravity. They delved into the abyss, hungry for power that no mortal should ever possess. Then, one stormy night, just as suddenly as they had arrived, the Wraithmores vanished. The grand house fell silent. The once meticulously kept gardens became overgrown and wild. The only evidence that they had ever existed at all was the chilling legacy they left behind. Some whispered that the rituals had gone awry. They spoke of a monstrous entity summoned from the depths of some infernal realm. Others claimed that the Wraithmores had become victims of their own hubris. They had flown too close to the sun, and their wings of arrogance had melted. Whatever the truth, the Wraithmores were gone. The Hollow House stood empty, a silent testament to their dark ambition. The storm raged around them as they approached the house. The wind howled like a banshee, and the rain lashed against their faces like tiny whips. The group of friends, urban explorers drawn to the unknown, had heard the stories. They had seen the warnings, but they had also felt the irresistible pull of the unknown. There was Liam, the self-proclaimed leader, his eyes gleaming with reckless abandon. Next to him walked Emily, her sharp wit and even sharper tongue masking a deep-seated fear. Ben, the tech expert, fiddled with his cameras, hoping to capture evidence of the supernatural. And then there was Sarah, the quiet one, her intuition screaming at her to turn back. They had come seeking thrills, a brush with the darkness that clung to the Hollow House like a shroud. They craved the adrenaline rush of fear, the validation of their own bravery. They sought to unravel the mysteries of the Hollow House, to expose its secrets to the light of day. But the house had other plans. It had been waiting for them, its hunger growing with each passing year. The storm was no deterrent, it was an invitation. The front door creaked open with a groan that seemed to echo through the ages. The explorers hesitated, their bravado faltering in the face of the oppressive darkness that oozed from the doorway. The air inside was stagnant and heavy, thick with the smell of decay and something else, something ancient and profoundly unsettling. Liam, ever the daredevil, was the first to cross the threshold, his flashlight cutting a shaky beam through the gloom. The others followed, their footsteps echoing on the dusty wooden floor. Dust motes danced in the air, disturbed after decades of undisturbed slumber. The house seemed to sigh around them, a low, mournful sound that sent shivers down their spines. Cobwebs, thick as burial shrouds, clung to every surface, and the air was heavy with the scent of decay. The once grand furniture was now shrouded in dust covers, their shapes barely discernible in the gloom. Portraits of stern-faced figures stared down from the walls, their eyes following the explorers' every move. As they ventured deeper into the bowels of the house, the storm outside seemed to intensify, mirroring the growing unease in their hearts. The hollow house was coming alive, its presence growing stronger with every step they took.